Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about discipline and what it really means, and how to train your discipline, and how to conquer that thought in your mind that tells you to, I just want to sit here, eat my Ben and Jerry, watch some Netflix, go to sleep at a bad hour. Conquer that part of your mind, because doing these things obviously is much easier. It's much easier to do nothing, very easy to do nothing than to do things that actually help you and make you better, make you healthier, make you successful in your life, right? So the first thing to do when you want to look at discipline is, what do you want in life, right? What are your goals? What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Who do you want to become? So usually, where people outline this is, they say friends and family, they want to have relationship, work, and maybe academics. They want to advance in work and academics. They want to have experiences outside of work. They want to have good physical health, mental health, and these are just a few things. You better have a few things, otherwise you will not be so satisfied with life, right? You need to have some kind of goals that are within these boundaries, because two things that always happen regardless of what you do in life is misery and suffering, right? You can run into misery everywhere, and suffering is just something that will happen no matter what. In the context of, let's say, working out, you can suffer at the gym, or you can suffer later on in life when you're unhealthy, you have a hunchback, you're the ringer of Notre Dame, and you suffer in that regard, right? So suffering is inevitable. We as people need to choose what we suffer for, which is very important. Suffering is going to happen no matter what. So choose, make the decision for yourself what you want to suffer for. So when we have that outlined, who do you want to become? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Who do you want to become? Be very honest with yourself. Don't be vague, because then it's easier for you to fail. Tell yourself who you want to become. Maybe you want to look like Dwayne Johnson. Maybe you want to be successful as a painter. Maybe you want to be a League of Legends pro player. Who do you want to become? And be very honest with yourself, because a lot of times people are vague. They let themselves fail because they've been very vague. Oh, well, I didn't say that. Then it's fine that I'm not there, Don't be afraid to fail. Failing is a part of life too. And committing to the idea that failing is not bad, and just trying new things and trying as hard as you can, trying your best at all times, is very positive. Because, man, every successful person, they will tell you, in their book, oh, I failed this many times before I hit jackpot, because they were willing to put themselves out there. So put yourself out there. Be ready to fail, or not be ready to fail. Do your best, thinking that you can do it with confidence, but when it doesn't work out, just fucking learn from it and then move on, right? So I want to continue, after you've outlined your goals, your big goals, then it's important to boil it down into micro steps. So let's say we work with the example, you want to be a League of Legends pro player. Saying that is easy sometimes, but you want to boil it down into micro steps. You have to look at the micro steps that help you push yourself towards the goal. So in this case, League of Legends is, you need to train daily, and you need to review your games, and you want to get higher elo, right? So in the sense of it, what do you need to do? You need to play League of Legends. You need to improve yourself within the game. You need to review games. You need to get better. That is something that is a micro step, right? So this can be said for working out. Working out, if you want to get buffed and look like Dwayne Johnson, then working out is a micro step, right? The micro step is working out. The main thing, the reason why we bring it into micro steps, is because the next tip that I'm pushing for here is make a schedule. Make a schedule for yourself, Get on Google Calendar, make a schedule for yourself. Make a day for yourself that at the end of the day, you are better than you were before. If you have a day where you end up being worse than you were before, then it's kind of a shitty day. And if you have a lot of those days, then you're gonna have a shitty year. And when you have a shitty year, then it's not that useful, right? So what you can do now is look and be honest with yourself. Who do you want to become? Look at the micro steps that push you towards that goal. Very important to look at the micro steps, right? And then make a schedule. So let's say you have a day, right? You want to be a League of Legends pro. You want to be good at League, and you schedule 4 hours into your day where you focus on becoming better at League. I have other clips on how to become better at League specifically. If in that scheme of things, let's say you want to also work out, you also have your job in terms of, let's say you either work or you have academics, you go to school. These are all things that might be a part of your schedule, right? So in that sense of it, you have your schedule, you have your micro steps. Try to follow it. You need to have some kind of motivation. Remind yourself that this is your honesty. This is your truest version of yourself. You said that this is what you want to become. Of course, what you want to become maybe changes in a couple of years or whatever. But this is with your current judgment. This is who you want to become. Let's say you want to look like Dwayne Johnson and you want to be a pro league player. That is your goal. Then push yourself and motivate yourself to follow through with your schedule. That is the only thing that matters, following through on your schedule. And what I mean is, you need to negotiate with yourself. Sometimes you reward yourself. Sometimes you slack off. That is completely fine. As long as at the end of the day, you are in better shape than you were before. And when you make a schedule, it's not about, oh, I made a schedule, I need to follow it to 100%. Your schedule is not a prison. It's not a prison at all. It's a guideline. And maybe at the start, maybe you do 20% of the schedule that you have set up for yourself. Maybe you just do 20%, and that is fine. Then you have a goal for yourself to do 21% the next day. Maybe 25 even, maybe 30. And then the next day, maybe you falter a bit, 25. That is fine. Pick yourself back up again. It's all about reviewing daily, how much you did of your schedule, how much of the things that you have told yourself, these are the steps that will make me become what I want to become. How many steps did you miss? Review yourself at the end of the day and train yourself to be more disciplined, because you have been honest, you've put it on the line, you've told yourself, this is what I want to do to become better. And the main thing is to improve your process. There's this Will Smith quote that says, or he said, if you want to build a wall, lay the perfect brick. Don't try to build a wall straight up. Something like this, right? The idea is that you focus on putting a brick. Every single day you have an opportunity to put a brick. You focus on the process of how you put that brick, that single brick, right? And at the end of the day, in 5 years, you'll have a wall that is slowly rising up. It will slowly rise. I'm looking at that wall and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna build it right off the bat. It's very, very difficult. Rome was not built in a day. There is a lot of meaning and truth to that saying, right? So the goal is to focus on your process, make your process better. Your process is your schedule. Your schedule is your guideline. You put in all the things that you want in life, and these micro steps that push you towards what you want in life. They are all in your schedule. You try to always improve on the fact how much you do on a schedule, and then when you reach a point when you do 100% of your schedule, then you're in good shape, right? But even then you should try to ramp up. Try to ramp up slowly. Maybe you try something new, maybe you add something, maybe you put something in there that will push you towards what you become, right? It's all about always refining your process. Make your process better. There's this thing a lot of people say that I've read. I don't know if a lot of people say it, but I've read it somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but you are your own boss and your own employee, And when you are lazy, you tell yourself, oh, I need to do this and this. This is the boss talking. And then I won't do it this time, I'll do it next time. That's the employee that is talking, you know. We are being very bad bosses and very bad employees, you know, at the same time. So it's about taking charge of yourself, you know. Make that schedule, focus in on those micro steps, try to make as many as possible in a day. At the end of the day, to ask yourself, did you do this? You didn't? Okay, try again next day. Try to be better than you were the day before, you know. And right now, you know, with any goals that you have, you know, maybe it's confusing to you when I say micro steps, but I'm gonna give you more examples. Let's say you want to speak Japanese, then you have to maybe learn a few words and learn a few sentences, maybe some grammar. I think Japanese has no grammar. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea. I don't speak Japanese, man. So that could be some steps, right? Maybe you want to be good at League, reviewing your games and playing better in the sense that you become more researched about the game. You look at your mechanics, you train your mechanics. You know, there are a lot of ways to become better at League as well. If you want to become like Dwayne Johnson, then you can work out and you can focus on those things. And the main thing, what I'm hinting at, is that we are living in 2017, and if you're watching this video, it means that you have internet, right? Unless you, for some reason, kidnapped my PC and you just stole it directly from the hard drive. So you have internet, right? You have the world's largest library at your hands. You know, it's at your fingertips. So all these micro steps, you can find out how to do them. You want to find out how Dwayne Johnson or Arnold Schwarzenegger freaking worked out, you can find that out. If you want to learn how to speak Japanese, then you can find that out on the internet. If you want to become better at something, then you can find out about that. If you want to look at other videos about what discipline is, you can also find that out. We have everything at our fingertips, and we have no excuses to not figuring out, oh, I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to. You're just being naive, and you're just telling yourself this because you are too afraid to fail. You know, you're too afraid to fail, and you don't want to push yourself to change. Everything is at your fingertips. You know, you want to learn how to code, just Google it, and bam, you will find out a way how to code. You want to become better at League of Legends, there's multiple sources of how to become better at League of Legends. You know, there are streams, there are people that are educational, there are my videos, you know. Very good videos. I'm just kidding. But my point is, there's a vast sea of information that you can use to push yourself towards your goals. And with that in mind, you know, make that schedule, set that day up, so at the end of the day, you're in better shape than you were before. Make goals for yourself, be honest with yourself, you know. Those goals are very important. And to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Set up the micro steps with that in regard, and then slowly make sure that your schedule is good and you're succeeding, right? It's important also in the schedule, you know, to reward yourself. Don't fill it in with massive things. Usually things take a lot more time than you think they would. So let's say you go to the gym, you spend 45 minutes, but getting there maybe it takes 30 minutes in total. You have to sit and rest a bit. Maybe you have to, you know, take a shower. Hopefully you take a shower, otherwise the people around you will hate you, right? And it's important to be very flexible with time. Flexible might not be the wrong word, but it's better to overestimate how much time it takes, because otherwise you might be overwhelmed. You know, let's say going to the gym takes 3 hours of your day, you know. Then when you are sitting there and you have your extra time, it's completely fine, you know. It's completely fine. And you don't force yourself in the situation where you are stressed. It's better to overestimate how much time things take than to overwhelm yourself with multiple tasks, you know, at one day. So let's say gym take approximately 2 hours. Maybe you just put 3 hours on your schedule, you know. That is completely fine. You know, don't overwhelm yourself where you stress yourself and eventually just become imprisoned by your schedule. You know, this is your schedule. This is your schedule. You are not imprisoned by it at all. It should be a tool for yourself to become better and more disciplined. because this is what it is at the end. Discipline is true honesty with yourself, true honesty with yourself, and trying to become what you want to be in the future, and boiling it down to what it is. Every single day, you put your faith in the fact that your schedule is something that you built up for your own success, and then try to commit to the schedule as much as you can, and then eventually you reach 100% of your schedule, and then you add small things to your schedule that always you basically ramp up all the time, and then at the end of the day you will feel better. You will be closer to your goal. You will be putting bricks that eventually become this wall that Will Smith is talking about. It's all about these micro steps. So boys, hopefully that makes sense, and girls, of course. If you have any questions, please post them down below. You have no excuses. Go become what you want to become. I believe in you. Fucking do it. Let's go.